Hello dear students, I am Samir Velankar. In this video I will teach what are the different states of a transaction. Whenever a transaction in a DBMS database management system runs, then it goes through number of states. Now for explaining the states I have drawn this graph and I have written a very simple transaction. Just check. This T1 is the transaction which has hardly 3 lines. It reads the value of A, which is written as RA. Then it decreases the value of A by 500, A equal to A minus 500. And then it writes the value of A, WA has been written. Also, just besides T1, there is a buffer shown over here. Now, value of any data read for the first time will be actually stored in this buffer, and then it will be transferred to the local buffer, as I have written at the bottom here, local buffer of transaction T1. So every transaction has its own local buffer, and the transaction always reads from something called global buffer. Now both these buffers are basically placed in the internal memory, that is RAM. So what are the states of the transaction? The first we will see is active state. Active state is such a state in which the transaction is executing. I repeat, active state means the transaction is in action right now. So some operations, some statements of the transaction are right now executing. Now, while any transaction executes, two basic operations it does is it reads the data or it writes the data. So read write operations are getting done while the transaction is getting executed. Whenever read write operations are done, we say that the transaction is in a state called partially committed state. To understand what this is, let's see how this transaction runs T1. Recall that it hardly has 3 lines. Read the value of A, decrease the value of A by 500, and write the value of A. Let us execute the first statement, read A. Now A is in the hard disk or data store, external storage, and it is not yet there in the buffer. So when first time A is requested by any transaction, the value of A, that is 1000, should be transferred to this buffer, which I am updating now. Here A is equal to 1000. But who was requesting the value of A? Obviously T1 was requesting the value of A. Okay, it wanted to read the value of A, so A has come into the buffer from data store. Now this value of A will be then copied to the local buffer. Here I am writing at the bottom. A now in the local buffer of T1 is 1000. So good. T1 who requested the value of A has now got the value of A in its own buffer. This is the local buffer. This is the local buffer of transaction T1. Now the next statement, A equal to A minus 500. So A should get reduced by 500, then A will become 500 as it was 1000. But listen, the value of A will be updated at the moment in the local buffer of T1. So if at all we have to show that A has reduced, really A has reduced, then we should show A has become 500. Indeed A has become 500, but in the local buffer of T1. Now observe, I am underlining over here, this buffer is still having A equal to 1000. Please try to understand that. Now any such operation going on is called as partially committed state. Let's continue with the same state, partially committed state. Now have a look at the third line, write A. This is the final statement, write A. Then when write A executes, obviously local buffer of T1 has the value 500. Now this 500 value of A has to be written, but where? It won't be directly written in the data store. Just check. This fresh value of A, the updated value of A, which is there in the local buffer of T1, will be written in the buffer which I am underlining. which was set aside as a global one, although it is also in the internal memory. So the value of A, which was 1000, will now get updated. A here will be 500. But listen, it is still in the internal memory. This value of A is not yet committed, we say. Yes, that's the word. This value of A, which is 500, is still there in the buffer. Due to write A, come on, due to write A, what has happened is the local copy of T1, whatever was the local value at T1 was written in the main buffer. So A became 500 in the buffer. But it is not yet committed in the data store. That's partially committed state. That is partially committed. Why are we calling it as partially committed? Is because changes have been done to the data, but they are still in the internal memory. They have not been permanently written or updated in the data store. So what if we have the fourth statement over here called commit? So this is an instruction in DBMS, commit, and what it does, if the transaction executes commit statement, then the value of the buffer, that is A equal to 500, will be permanently returned to the data store. Now the external storage where our data has been stored will no more have A equal to 1000, but A will be 500. And listen, once the data is committed, once the transaction commits itself, once it writes the value in the external storage or data store, then that value cannot be altered unless some other transaction alters it. So that is what is committed state. Committed state is reached only when a transaction executes commit. So that is what I have shown on this arrow over here, permanent store here, because the changes made in the transaction to some data item are now written in the permanent storage, that is hard disk. And obviously after commit there is nothing left out but the terminate state, that is the transaction ends. So this is one flow here. This is one flow where transactions made changes in the local buffer, then executed commit, then resulted in the transaction to finish. Now, what is the other path? Let's see. It can happen that while executing, let me erase a few things. It can happen that while executing the transaction, due to some reason, transaction fails. Now, why? It can happen due to power failure. It can happen due to hard disk failure. It can happen due to some bad sectors on the hard disk, whatever reason. But the transaction was active. Just check that. Transaction was active. It was reading or writing a few things in the local buffer, and suddenly the transaction failed. So maybe after two statements of transaction where it has read or written something, before executing the third operation, the transaction fails. So it is in the failed state. Or the transaction has just now begun, it is active, it has not read or written anything, but still it fails very early on. So the arrow has been shown from here too. So now it is in the failed state. Now what happens if a transaction fails is that the transaction is rolled back by transaction manager. To understand what rollback means, let us refresh. Let us refresh this entire screen and let's try to understand what rollback is, so that we know how the transaction takes care of failures, how DBMS takes care of failures. We have that same transaction where A is read, A is decreased by 500, and write A. And let's say last statement obviously is commit. Now this is the local buffer of T1 where it has nothing stored right now. We have data store in which A currently is 1000. And we have one more buffer which will be responsible for holding the values that are to be committed. So whatever commit will be done through this buffer. Okay. So now let's execute our transaction again, and we will purposely fail our transaction after a few operations. Let's execute read A, the first statement. Now this is the read operation on A for the first time. Then the value of A will be first taken to this buffer, main buffer, where A will be 1000. But who was asking for value of A? Of course, T1 was asking for value of A. So once this value has come in the main buffer, now the value of A will be copied to the local buffer. Here at the bottom I am writing local buffer of T1. Now the second operation, let's say, executes where A decreases by 500. So you know that T1 will update its local buffer, and in the local buffer here at the bottom I am writing A becomes 500. But just observe, the main buffer still has A equal to 1000. When it will be updated? Yes, it will be updated only when T1 decides to write A. Now remember, write A executed by T1 will not write the value of A in the data store, in the permanent store. It won't write it in the permanent store. This value of A due to write A, this instruction when executes will be written in the main buffer. So A now becomes 500. But then this buffer has the value 500, and the value has not yet been written in the permanent store. And just imagine that due to some reason, immediately after this write A, the transaction fails. Before the commit, the transaction fails. Of course, the transaction could have failed anywhere from 1 to 3. I have failed it after the third statement. In such case, the DBMS transaction management will roll back. Now, by roll back, what we mean is it will definitely bring the conditions, the data to the same state in which the transaction was earlier. Now, if you roll back, what was the original value of A read by the transaction? It was, check that, it was 1000, isn't it? The value of A read first time before it failed was 1000, and then A became 500 in the local buffer, isn't it so? So you only tell me if the transaction is rolled back and if the transaction is allowed to run again. Yes, of course, because last time it failed, so it has to run again from the beginning. If it has to run again from the beginning, it has to take the original value. It can't work out with, oh, last time I had A as 500, so I will resume my execution from there, isn't it so? So the previous state where it was when it began has to be restored. So A will now be read as 1000, and it will happen all over again as if nothing happened last time. That is what is rollback. And whenever the transaction is rolled back, we say that the transaction has got aborted this time and it has to restart again. It has to restart from the beginning. So definitely the transaction terminates. If it is rolled back, hello, if it is rolled back, the transaction has terminated and it has to begin again from the active state and execute all the operations all over again. I hope you have understood this graph, a directed graph which very well explains all the states of a typical transaction. Thank you very much.